F1 Academy, previously showing some action on the track in some tricky conditions when we got into qualifying. In free practice they had some good dry time, but as the rain came down it was causing many problems. Getting out on an early lap was what mattered. Going out later on wet tyres meant you could not improve on the lap time you could do on the dry tyres. It certainly hasn't worked quite so well for Maya Berg, the championship leader, but it has worked for Chloe Chambers, who has set the pace. Although with the reverse grid, she'll be a bit further down for the first race. So the first Miami F1 Academy race of the 2025 season is about to get underway. Welcome to the action with me, Ben Edwards, as we look forward to a 13-lap encounter around the Hard Rock Stadium on a day that's been a bit strange on the weather. Dry, then wet qualifying session, and it certainly made it tough for some rapid drivers to deliver their best. It should make for an interesting race around this 19-turn challenging circuit, a track where last year my co-commentator Abby Pulling won both races. Abby, we are looking forward to what could be a very exciting race, and particularly thinking of Maya Berg, who had a tough qualifying. She's down in 10th place, she's the championship leader, but we are on a dry track now.
I'm very excited for this reverse grid race. I've been looking actually at the clouds constantly in the commentary box, looking to see if we'll have the same situation as what we had earlier in qualifying. But it's looking like the sun's come out for the drivers and they've all got their slick tyres on. But as you said, Maya, she struggled in qualifying. So it'll be interesting to watch her and see how she can move up the grid, if she can move up the field and keep her nose clean.
So it's Emma Felbermeyer who is on pole position, Rafaela Ferreira second. They are on the front row together, and Emma Felbermeyer, who was 8th fastest, and Rafaela Ferreira, who was 7th fastest. That's the way it goes. But there you are with Maya Berg, who starts down in 10th place, leading the championship by 7 points. She's had a win last year, and this year she's had 1 win, 4 podiums. So it's going to be fascinating to see how much progress she can make. Let's take a look at how the grid lines up. So, starting down towards the back of the field, Ava Dobson's the wildcard entry. Ava Anagnostiadis is alongside on the back row of the grid. Then it's Joanne Chiconte, the Australian, with Nicole Harford, the Canadian. They are 16th and 15th on the grid. Chloe Chong is 14th with the Rodin team. Nina Gaidman with Prema, she is 13th on the grid. And then 12th, Alba Larsen. She'll be a little disappointed with that, the 16-year-old from Denmark. She's been showing well, but Courtney Crone is 11th on the grid. There is Maya Berg, the championship leader, starting from 10th place on the grid. Dina Hausman starting 1 place ahead in 9th, and then in 8th place is Chloe Chambers, who was fastest in qualifying, but with the top 8 reverse, she starts 8th. Alicia Palmowski starts 7th. Dorian Paz, second in the championship, she starts 6th. Ella Lloyd, another race winner this year already, she starts 5th. Leah Block, excellent. She started at the back for the remaining races so far this year. 4th, Aurelia Nobels is 3rd. That's great for her too. And then the front row, as we've seen, Rafaela Ferreira and Emma Felbermeyer, the 18-year-old from Austria. She is on that pole position for this one. There you are, number 5, with the backing from the Sauber F1 team, and she comes from a family with a great deal of racing background to them. But Chloe Chambers there, Abby, she's starting 8th and she was fastest.
Chloe is really fierce. I mean, she loves the racing and the reverse grid races. She's always been moving forward, so I'm really excited to see what she can do. And Aurelia Nobles as well, actually, here, as we're seeing. She's starting P3, which is the best and furthest up I think we've ever seen her be. So it'll be interesting to see how she gets off the line, knowing that there's only a few cars in front of her to pass. But Emma Felbermeyer, actually, it's her 3rd front row start this season, all in the reverse grid races. Seems to be a familiar kind of sight, having that clear view into turn 1.
Absolutely. So let's see how it goes for her in terms of holding on up front when you're not necessarily the fastest because of the reverse grid, but there is obviously an opportunity then. But how much are people going to be able to come through? Ava Dobson, by the way, the blue car at the back you're looking at there, she did have a 3-place penalty. They're about to go away on the formation lap, as you can see. So Ava Dobson, yeah, she was actually 15th fastest in qualifying, but a 3-place penalty because she tapped into the back of Leah Block in free practice, and unfortunately that meant that she got the penalty, and that's put it down to the very back of the grid. Right, track conditions, as you can see now, Abby, is very different to when we saw them in qualifying.
Yeah, it's still going to be really low grip out there as the rain brings all the rubbish onto the track, and it makes it really hard for the drivers. And here they're going to need to get as much temperature as possible on this formation lap.
So let's hear from our top 3 qualifiers, starting with that starting in 3rd place, Aurelia Nobels.
So I'm really confident. I was faster than Emma and Rafa, so I think, yeah, I'll try to get a good start. I'm really strong with it, so I'll take an advantage of it and try to get them in the first lap of the races, and yeah.
It was my best qualifying and starting P2. It's really good opportunity to get a podium. So I think it's maximize the start, try to jump to P1, and I don't know if it's gonna rain or it's gonna be dry, but I think it's the same thing for both scenarios, and I think it's a really good chance to get points today.
Yeah, now I have some experience of starting P1 or P2, so the other races weren't that good. So I hope I can improve what I've learned in Shanghai and in Jeddah. I think both races after these reverse races were quite good. So I'm confident that this is going to be better. And yeah, but for sure I'm hoping for another better qualifying than just reverse grid pole position.
Well, let's see how Emma Felbermayr does get on. So, as you said, she's been on the front row several times already, but her best finish is 5th place. Let's see whether she's going to be able to do a little bit better. You can see that she's kind of building up the confidence a little bit, isn't she?
Yeah, and all drivers there wanting to move forward, and they're really determined, and Emma wanting to kind of make peace with the front row start she's had in the past, and maybe felt like she's not maximised them enough, and wants to make sure she can convert this one to try and take some silverware home at the end of the day. Absolutely.
We are hearing that Alba Larsen is going to start from the pit lane. Alba Larsen's qualifying was not great. She ended up 12th on the grid, but she will be starting from the pit lane, so that's going to be a bit of a tough one for her.
Yeah, and she's 5th in the championship as well, so that's not ideal for her top 5 ambitions and going forward in that. But I mean, it's a long year, lots of opportunity as we see the drivers doing their last bit of tyre warm-up, getting the rear tyre temp to make sure that they don't get any wheel spin on that launch. It's really, really vital to make sure the run-up to turn 1 is as best as possible. But here it is a short run-up to turn 1, so if there is a mistake, it will be a bit mitigated by that distance.
Abby, you've been a double winner here at Miami. Getting off the line here, how tricky is it? Is it a difficult track for a start, or is it fairly straightforward?
I mean, it's not a grid where anything's uphill, so it's not too bad as the cars are all gridding up, and it's all about the traction here, especially as the conditions are, you know, it's rained and it's low grip at the moment.
Okay, we're all set to go then for the start of the first of 2 races of F1 Academy in Miami. Lights out, and F1 Academy's go, and a great start from Emma Felbermayr from that pole position. She has taken the lead initially, and Ferrero locks up, and that is a block as well. What a shame. That is a real problem going into that first corner. What a shame, Abby.
Yeah, Ella Lloyd misjudging her braking point there and going in the back into Leah. She can't seem to get a break, the Williams junior, and yeah, that looks like it will be into the pit lane if she can get going again.
Right, Felbermayr is the race leader, so that's worked out extremely well. But how's it going to go? And look at Maya Berg now trying to make up ground already. Maya Berg, who started down in 10th place, and she's already gaining some places. This is good news. Felbermayr, Dorian Pain up into 2nd place. Aurelia Nobles is in 3rd place. Chloe Chambers already up in 4th place, having started down in 8th. But Maya Berg in the Ferrari colouring is already making those places, isn't she? Oh, look at this, battle for lead. Dorian Pain trying to go to the outside. So Dorian Pain, who is currently 2nd in the championship, on the outside here, trying to go around Felbermayr, trying to take the lead. Can't quite do it yet. Has to back out, make sure there's enough space, but there is a real chance here, Abby.
Yeah, I mean, the safety car board, I think that saved Emma there. The safety car come out just as there was an overlap into turn 11, as we see the stricken car of Ella Lloyd not being able to get going again, which will be the cause of the safety car. But it's frustration for Dorian with not being able to get the move done just before the yellow flags come out.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's just take a look at this race start. Abby, talk us through it again of what we saw there.
Yeah, I want to look at what Ella's doing here. She's found going for the gap between Leah and Aurelia and just misjudges her braking, goes to the inside and catches the back, the rear left of Rafaela, the innocent victim there, unfortunately, but not an ideal way to start the race there.
No, it wasn't ideal at all. It was a good start by Emma Felbermeyer. She got herself into a clear space, but as you say, that both locking up, but it was very much Ella Lloyd who got it wrong, sadly, and Ella, who's had that one win already this year in Jeddah. Let's have a look at it from Leah Block's point of view. Started in 4th place. Let's look at this, Abby.
A brilliant launch, actually, from Leah, finding the gap, actually looking at Rafaela, saw the lockup, and then really actually good reactions to react to Ella storming past, as we see Aurelia Noble starting P3 and watching the two go side by side into turn 1, opening up the corner, seeing, oh wow, actually had a great view of everyone sailing past there, but Doriane making the most of the situation, making up 3 or 4 positions there.
Let's see how Chloe Chambers did, because she's made up a lot of places. As I mentioned, she started down in 8th place, and so she's up against Alicia Palmowski on the left-hand side. The incident happens up ahead of her. She's on the inside, and of course that helps enormously, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Chloe here, she wants to go for the championship lead, and if it keeps going like this, Doriane will be the only one in her way to trying to move up the championship standings, as we see Ella jumping out the car. Really disappointing end to her race, but qualified P4 for the race tomorrow, so hopefully can make do with it tomorrow.
Yeah, so that car is now being moved out of the way, and the race will get underway again in a few moments' time. But it certainly was a good start by Emma Felbermeyer this time, but as you know, she is under a lot of attack now from Doriane Pain in 2nd place, and Doriane, of course, is very much a contender for the championship, only 7 points behind Maya Berg in the championship at this early stage of the season, and she had 3 wins last year. She's had the 1 win so far this year in China, but has been very competitive throughout. But as we've seen, Maya Berg has moved up to 6th place, having started down in 10th, so she is definitely gaining a lot of place as well. Yeah, obviously that incident at that first corner is being checked out, but the safety car is ending at the end of this lap. So Abby, we're getting ready to go racing once again.
Yeah, actually you see Emma weaving here, trying to put off her competitors. It's more for a distraction rather than a functionality of getting tyre temp, and they've actually got to stop weaving by turn 18. So if they're weaving there, they'll get a penalty. And here Doriane getting as close as possible, being ready to react to Emma. She goes quite early actually here, going into the last corner. She's going to make sure she gets a clean braking into turn 17. Perfect. Need to get the exit here now, as Doriane will be piling the pressure on. It actually looks like Chloe has been caught sleeping a bit and lacking at this start. So under pressure a little bit by Alicia going into turn 1, and Maya also looking really mean.
So the race back underway, and Emma Felbermeyer has made a good start, but Doriane Pain in 2nd place is definitely keeping the pressure on. Could be some other little movements going on. Oh, it's all a little bit tight there, but Nina Gaidman trying to go down the inside. Was okay, they managed to survive. Tina Hausmann didn't make contact with them, but Felbermeyer has still got the edge over Doriane Pain. Meanwhile, Maya Berg is trying to catch on Palmowski, but Chloe Chambers still in 4th place at this stage. Felbermeyer sliding around a little bit.
Yeah, Maya needs to make sure that she's smart and decisive and committed in these overtakes to maintain that championship lead that she wants to keep a grip on with that P10 qualifying. It's hindered her, but everyone's fallen off a little bit in front, and she needs to make sure she's got the overtake done. Can't afford to have any contact and have any half-hearted moves.
Absolutely right. So let's see how this goes. They're all trying to settle into the rhythm now. We're on lap 3 out of 13. There's still plenty of time. And Doriane Pain in 2nd place is often very sensible, very aware that you've got to just keep going. You find the slot at the right time. Ferreira running a little bit wide there in the battle with Tina Hausmann and with Nina Gaidman. But they have all survived. Hopefully no penalties required in that respect. This is proving to be a very tight little battle going on.
Yeah, it's wheel to wheel in Sector 2. It's really tight and twisty, and it's hard to get a move done as we go on board with Doriane in the slipstream. She'll be eyeing up a move into this last corner if she can get quite close enough. She might be confident on the brakes here, show her nose, maybe put off Emma, get in the mirrors. It's a really high-pressure situation here for Emma.
Have a look, have a look. She's having a little look down the inside. She's going alongside, and she could be taking the lead. Yes, she is. Dorian Pan makes the move. That was a lovely move down the inside, late braking without going too deep into the corner. Dorian Pan takes the lead. Second place now, Felber-Meyer, who is now coming under even more pressure from Aurelia Nobels, who is right behind. Oh, and no, Felber-Meyer's having a go at the lead again. Wow, that's impressive. She's taken it back.
Brilliant move. That was absolutely incredible. Textbook move from Emma, and it was really brave on the brakes there. Caught Dorian off guard, I think, actually. And now Dorian is under pressure from Aurelia Nobles going into turn 4.
Yeah, and Chloe Chambers is under threat from Palmovsky as well. So it's all getting very, very close. But what a great move back by Felber-Meyer, who she was telling us before that being up front again, she's determined to try and hold on to a better position. Best 5th so far this year. Well, she's done fantastically to get back in front.
Yeah, and all of this means that the pack for P1 is really closing up, and Maya Voog's right on the back of it saying, oh, you girls can all go side to side and mess about and slow yourself down, and I'll be right here to take your pick. And as Chloe Chambers comes under pressure from Alicia Pamowski as she goes to the outside, pick your braking point, and Dorian also putting her nose in. Chloe...
Oh, watch out, teammates, the two Campos teammates there with the Red Bull backing. They nearly made contact, but thankfully they didn't. It would be tricky to explain to the team afterwards. It's always tricky when you're racing that hard against the teammate, isn't it?
Yeah, you want to keep it tidy, girls. I'm sure the Campos team will be saying on the radio, let's not do anything silly here. But great racing this reverse grid has been producing so far as they go line astern into the last corner. Who's gonna pick the braking point? Who's gonna...
Be clever, use slipstream. Be clever, use the slipstream.
Well, that's what they're doing now. They're using slipstream, and Felber-Meyer goes slightly defensive this time. Doesn't leave it easy for Dorian Pan to dive up the inside. And in fact, there's no changes there this time. Just looked like Joanne Chiconte may be making a move further back. But yeah, up front, no change so far.
Dorian will be thinking here, you caught me out in turn 1 this time, I'm going to come for it here now.
Look at this, down into turn 1, Dorian Pan to the outside, but again, Felber-Meyer's, oh, she's locked up on the inside, she's run a bit wide, surely she's going to lose the place this time, although not yet, but in the end, she has to give space, and Dorian Pan is almost there, and she may well lose not just the lead, but second place. Aurelia Nobels is coming through, but Felber-Meyer's still not giving up, but she's lost second, and she may lose third as well, because Palmovsky's coming through. Yep, she's done it too. So going from first to fourth, painful, but she's working hard and she's battling off Chloe Chambers. Chloe Chambers now coming through on the inside. Chambers, who was the fastest qualifier of all of them in that brief qualifying session we had earlier today. But now Maya Voog's going to make it. Freeway battle. Oh my goodness, Abby. Where's this going to go?
Gosh, I don't know. Maya here needs to be really smart. Go for the outside, fill the gaps here, and Emma squeezing her as much as she can into that, as close as she can to the pit wall. As Chloe's also on the defensive, making sure that no one can come by. But it looks like damage actually for Emma there, where the front damper cover is coming off. So might end up being a trip to the pit lane.
Oh, that's unfortunate, yeah, and it's certainly going to slow her down a little bit in a straight line like that, but what a shame, because Emma's been doing a good job, but now being contested by some of the more experienced campaigners in F1 Academy is Dorian Pan, who now leads the race. Could be on for some very useful points in trying to close the gap up to Maya Voog, but Maya Voog is now running in 5th place, doing a good job there. So we will see how this all goes as we continue through this race. But Dorian Pan not getting away from Aurelia Nobels, and Nobels really doing a good job, Abby. She had a bit of a tough season so far, but it's coming together quite well at this stage.
Yeah, Aurelia piling on the pressure, putting the pressure on Dorian, and she's in the best position she's been so far in this series. So she's going to want to make sure that she's smart here, not go for any silly move or have anything, as Alicia has a little lock up into turn 1, trying to get a bit closer to Aurelia.
Absolutely. Well, let's just have a look at this battle that Dorian Pan was having with the race leader, and Emma just went a bit too deep, didn't she?
Yeah, it all come unstuck for Emma after this point, dropping back all the way and then picking up a little bit of damage there. Doriane, textbook move, putting the pressure on, putting them into a position where they make a mistake, as she looks like she's actually pulling a little bit of a gap now to Aurelia, trying to stretch her legs in front.
Yeah, so Aurelia Nobles is now having to defend from Alicia Palmowski, and you're on board with Alicia Palmowski, who's now going to have a little look to see if she can get back into second position, having qualified extremely effectively earlier. She was second fastest in qualifying before the rain came down and obviously held that position, but she's going to try and go around the outside to take that second place without running too wide. She's still there, hasn't gone over the curb too far, and I think she's going to take that place. Yes, well done to her.
Yeah, incredible move there. Also keeping within track limits, so definitely not going to be a call over the radio saying she needs to drop back and give the position. It was a similar move, actually, what we saw her do to Chloe Chambers earlier in the race.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Aurelia Nobles we're on board with now, so she's still in third place, but will be coming under pressure now from Chloe Chambers, who set that pace in qualifying. Let's see how this goes, but excellent stuff from Palmowski, up into second position. She is fourth in the championship, so extra points here keeps her very much in the mix, no doubt about it. And it's very close in that fight for second place, but everybody keeping it clean so far. Look at the lead that Doriane Pan's pulling away, though.
Yeah, she actually had a little bit of a lock-up on that last lap on the overhead camera angle, and the gap might have closed a little bit, but here it's really getting close for P2. Chloe Chambers looking really, really racy behind Aurelia Nobles, but Aurelia will be wanting to keep this P3, but Maya Rug actually also is looking really, really fast and wanting to make the most out of these battles going on in front.
Well, we shall see how it goes. We are on lap 7 out of 13. Doriane Pan looking to try and close up that gap in the championship battle she's got with Maya Rug. And Maya Rug is still holding on to a good position here in 5th place currently, as you can see. And Felbermeyer, the early race leader, still going. She's dropped back a little bit now, though, down into 6th place. Let's listen in to Emma.
Black and white warning flag was for wheezing.
Well, she didn't really like that so much, but of course she was weaving a lot before the restart, wasn't she?
Yeah, sounds like she maybe disagrees a little bit, but it could be also for defending. I'm amazed that she's actually still out there with that front damper cover flapping on the front of her car at the moment. But as we see Leah Block and Nina Gaidman actually getting side by side in turn 13 into the chicane, it's really tight here. Oh, and an incident. Joanna Giconte is backwards here in the first sector, I believe.
Yeah, the young Australian, the youngest entry into F1 Academy, and is bashed, isn't it? The left rear. Let's have a look at what's happened. 3 abreast. Oh, what a shame. Contact made with Chloe Chong.
Yeah, 3 into 1 just doesn't go. It's a bit of a victim there for Joanne, and yeah, that'll be heartbreaking for her, having to go to the pit lane with that damage, if she can nurse it back, that is.
Yeah, she may be able to take it to a safe place, possibly, where they can then remove it. It does lead to a safety car. I was just wondering, though, it does lead to the safety car coming back out. And, of course, what this will do, Abby, is cue everybody close together again, and it could make for some battles in the final laps once the safety car comes back in.
Yeah, Alicia has actually been on the podium in the other 2 reverse grid races that we've seen so far this year, so maybe she'll be wanting to make that into a P1 if we get into green flag racing conditions again. And she's looking like she's really confident on the brakes and making some really great moves, especially into that turn 11 as we've seen around the outside, so potentially some good racing coming on this restart.
Absolutely right. And Doriane Pan, though, very experienced. She was Ferrari Europe champion in 2022. She's raced some of the major sports car events, such as the Daytona, the Spa 24 Hours. She's been at Le Mans, but she's focused back on single-seaters in these last couple of years, and she's doing a really strong job.
Have you got a puncture?
No, but the steering's sideways and wheels aren't straight.
Oh, that's a shame for Chloe Chong. She's getting out, and she's had a bit of a tough time this season. She's had a 10th place couple of 10th place finishes, but nothing much better than that, and it's just proving a little bit tough for her. But that was just a three-way, 3 cars all in the same place at the same time. It just that was always going to be a challenge, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was unfortunate, really. It just seemed, I couldn't really tell on the entry. It looked like Nicole Havre went up the inside of 2 cars already side by side, and there just wasn't enough space. Potentially the car on the far right a bit unsighted that there was 2 cars there.
Absolutely. Well, let's see how this goes when we get the race back underway once again. It's certainly looking entertaining to see who else might be moving up. Alba Larson, by the way, up into 12th place. Remember, she had to start from the pit lane, so she's making progress, and this safety car will help her. There you were talking about that damage to the front of Emma Felbermeyer's. It's still holding on fairly constantly. It doesn't look as though it's about to fall off, does it?
Yeah, I'm amazed as the wind will be getting underneath that, and it will be like a parachute on the car.
Black and orange flag, so she will have to come in, I think, and I think we may well see her have to come into the pits, which of course will be a difficult one for her, but that's what you have to do. She is heading into the pits now, and that really takes away any opportunity to score points in this. The top 8 finishers in this race do score points, with 10 points for the winner, 1 point for 8th place. Sadly, she is not going to be able to score any now, is she?
No, and it's it doesn't look like a really good race for the Podium Motorsport team as a whole. The drivers' champions of last year fighting for the team standings and want to be racking up as much points as possible. It was luckily a very quick stop there for Emma, but unfortunate for them as they've already got 2 cars out, 1 in the pit lane at the back of the grid.
Okay, well, let's see where she can get back to, if anywhere. But as I mentioned, we will keep an eye on Alba Larson in 11th place now, having started, well, in theory, she was going to start 12th, but she actually started from the pit lane. There we are, getting Joan Chiconte's car out of the way. This is what has caused this current safety car period. And then once that is all clear, we will get back into full racing once again in this first of 2 races this weekend. Let's just take another little look back. Yeah, this is the 3-way battle that all went a little bit wrong, and it's Joan Chiconte and Chloe Chong on the outside. Down the inside with Nicole Havre. They were making that 3-way battle, and unfortunately the contact was made.
Yeah, all 3 cars now out of contention of scoring any points, which is really unfortunate. But we'll see if Nicole Havre has any damage, and she might have picked some up that will be hard going into this restart.
So there's Chloe Chong just talking to the team, the Rodian team, and unfortunately she is out of this one, but let's hope that things go better for her in the second race tomorrow. For now, though, I would imagine that we will possibly see the lights on the safety car. Let's see if they coming down the straight, or will we need to see another lap? But they were getting into good shape of moving that car out of the way. At the moment, the lights are still on. If they go out, then we will be back into racing. But I think they would need to be going. Ah, yes, they are. We're just getting a report. Lights are going out. So we will be back to racing in just a moment. So this time, Abby, it's up to Dorian Pain to try and judge when to do the restart.
Dorian has had a few goes at this now throughout the years she's been in this series, and she'll know what to do to control the pace and be ready mentally for what she needs to do. She would have talked to the team beforehand where she's going to think about going, but here we're on board with Alicia Panowski, who won't want to be caught off guard, filling the mirrors of Dorian, piling on the pressure, showing that she's there and she's here ready to attack into turn 1.
Yeah, well, she's gone for it now, out of the hairpin, absolutely just floored it on exit, and that has worked actually very well because they're all bunched up so closely, but she's already pulled away from Palmowski, so Palmowski's not in a position to be able to challenge as they go down into turn 1. Is anybody else in a position to have a go down the inside? A little bit of a look from Nina Gateman in the Alpine livery, but I don't think that she was quite able to do anything, was she?
No, this first sector as well, it's a high-speed sector, so it's really hard to follow. So these girls need to try and get as close as possible going into turn 7. The best opportunity is actually into turn 11 after this point. So here, making sure they're hitting their marks, managing the aero wash that they'll be getting ready to attack.
Sorry, I kept changing speed there. Almost brake testing me multiple times.
Well, it's always the challenge of a restart. Of course, the leader has the ability to decide when to go, as long as you're not standing on the brakes. And I don't think she was. She might have been just lifting a little bit and slowing. Right, so let's have a little look. We've got Chloe Chambers now having an attack on third place. Chloe Chambers on the outside in the Red Bull colours, trying to go around the outside of Aurelia Nobels, and it's side by side, but Nobels is defending, but no, Chloe Chambers has now got the inside line, and she's taken third place, Abby.
Yeah, that turn 11 around the outside seems to be a really, really hot point for overtaking, especially as it becomes the inside then for turn 12. A really brilliant move from Chloe Chambers, one of the biggest movers actually from last season as well, coming back to Miami here, in front of the home crowd, absolutely loving it.
Yeah, really good. Remember, she started down in 8th for this race because she was fastest in qualifying. Dorian Pan is not getting away quite so much. Maya Berg, you're on board with Maya Berg in the Ferrari colours now, as she is now going to see if she can find a way past Aurelia Nobels. So Nobels is holding it to the inside there a little bit. Is that going to cost her on the exit? I'm not sure. Actually, looked like she's still got a good exit, but Dorian Pan is having to watch her mirrors, isn't she?
Yeah, Alicia's looking like she really wants to have a go, trying to feel the mirrors of Dorian and show that she's there, pile on the pressure. But actually, side by side into turn 1 with Aurelia and Maya trying to get the cut back, not quite able to do it here. Looking into turn 4, potentially trying to set something up, but it's she'll be doing a good job if Maya can get past.
Yeah, we shall see how this goes. It is very close in that battle right now. Aurelia Nobels still defending from Maya Berg, but Maya Berg with the win that she's already had and the championship lead, which she wants to try and extend, but with one of her major, well, 2 of her major competitors are up ahead of her, particularly Dorian Pan, but Chloe Chambers as well, who is also one of her main contenders this year. She's up ahead, but Maya Berg just needs to work this out and try and decide, get a clean move here. What she cannot afford is to throw the car off the track. She's got a bit of a toe here. Is this going to be an opportunity? She goes to the outside, and as you said, it's always up to turn 11, but then dives back down the inside at the last moment. I thought that was clever stuff, wasn't it?
That was measured and mighty. Wow, amazing job from Maya getting through there, selling the dummy perfectly.
Leah Block also gaining time, a position there as well in the Williams colouring because she has now moved up into 6th place. So Leah Block is also now going to go on the attack, possibly of trying to get past Aurelia Nobels. That might be a little bit harder to do. Dorian Pan is just that little bit further ahead of Alicia Palmowski as they come down the main straight. Meanwhile, though, Maya Berg, who's got past Nobels, is also now giving her quite a toe. So I don't think Aurelia Nobels has given up on getting the place back again, although down the inside, Nina Gaidman in the background. Yes, she's gained a place.
Yeah, there with Tina Hausman, but Maya having a massive lock-up going into the last corner under a lot of pressure by Aurelia, and she wants to stop getting slowed down by all this defending. She wants to get up to the top 3. She's got a podium streak. She actually has not been off the podium at all this year, so they want to get going and chase after the leaders.
Absolutely. Let's take a little look back at this, Abby, from the on-board version, and just talk us through this.
Yeah, last-minute decision to go to the right, and then realised actually she's opened the door. She's gonna let me sail right past here. A really textbook move there from Maya Berg.
That's a tough one, isn't it? I bet. Have you ever been in that situation where you think, oh, I've got this, but I'm in front. Oh, look at that. That was a bit close. Nearly contact with the lock up there, but thankfully. But yes, that was so well done, wasn't it? And sometimes it can be so frustrating when you've been defending well and then that happens.
Yeah, and obviously she was running up in the top 2 at the start of the race, so she'll be frustrated with that. But also, it's a really great showing from her. It's one of her best races so far. As Leah Block, who actually was in contact at the first corner at the start of the race, now putting the pressure on Aurelia too, seeing if she can go around the outside of turn 11, nearly. Sideways. Off the track there, so if she does get past, she's going to have to give it back. 4 wheels off there over the white line from my point of view, if I'm honest.
Yeah, no, it did look like it, absolutely. So, yeah, the stewards will have to look at that and just see, but which is a bit of a shame because Leah Block's actually been doing a fantastic job. She's had a bit of a tough season, certainly in qualifying. She's managed to get some results. She always manages to gain places in the races, and tomorrow she'll be quite near the front of the grid, of course, after doing such a good job in qualifying. But, yeah, right now, that will be looked at, I would think. Oh, little lock-up from our race leader, Dorian Pan. She's still not got this totally comfortable yet because Alicia Palmowski's keeping the pressure on her. Here we are, the top two. They've got away from Chloe Chambers in third place, but we still have a battle going on to the last lap, don't we, Abby?
Yeah, Dorian would have wanted to have got a bit of pressure off her shoulders by this point and made the gap a bit bigger, but Alicia is right there, ready to attack, making sure there's an opportunity on this last lap to try and get past and go for the win, but we'll see. Hopefully he'll close the gap a bit more and try and scoot on past, but although the gap's opening up here in sector 1 a little bit.
It is, and as you were saying, if you can close in through this sector, it's then into the second sector. That's an interesting tighter line that Palmowski takes there going into turn 7 and 8, but exit-wise, I think Dorian Pan, oh, I don't know, actually, I thought she'd be further ahead.
No, she actually tightened up and shortened the distance, got a lot on the entry, but then the exit, she washed out and she bottomed out. So the toe will be helping her, but it wasn't an ideal exit for her, as there's a yellow sector in sector 1 and 2. But Alicia right on the back of Dorian. Looking up the inside, no, not quite close enough. The next opportunity here now will come into the last corner, so make sure around this tight, twisty sector 2, you get it perfect and be right underneath her, ready to go into turn 17.
So you're right, it's all about the slipstream down the straight that's coming up. Remember, into the tight left-hander now, which leads onto the long straight. Get a good exit here, and then you will get the toe. There's no DRS in F1 Academy, as in Formula 1, but you still get a decent toe down a straight that is this long. But is it going to be enough? She will now start to gain just a little bit, and I'm not sure if she's going to be quite close enough to attack. No, that Dorian Pan has done a good job there, holding the position. And as they come through the last few corners now, it looks like it's all going the way of the French driver. It's Dorian Pan who is going to take the checkered flag. Dorian Pan wins the first of the 2 races for F1 Academy here in Miami in 2025. Alicia Palmowski finishes in second. Chloe Chambers in third place. Maya Verg finishes in 4th position, with Leah Block in 5th place. Nina Gateman going well into 6th place in the end. Aurelia Nobles, who was so much a part of that battle, finished in 7th. Final point in 8th place goes to Tina Hausmann, and then just outside that, Rafaela Ferreira, who started up on the front row, ended up down in 9th place. Dorian Pan, though, Abby, she did a really, really good job there.
Amazing job. She picked up the pieces when everyone else was pinging off left, right, centre and going side by side. She was really smart with how she was driving, and here she's obviously very happy about the result.
Yes, wow.
Brava, good job. P1 and fastest lap of the race.
Thank you for today, team. We have dream team. Let's go for tomorrow.
Yeah, and of course tomorrow she will be 3rd on the grid, but it will be Chloe Chambers and Alicia Palmowski on the front row. But showing that pace, Abby, she could well still be giving them a pretty hard time.
Yeah, she's shown really great racing as well today, so she can make the moves, and that's the important thing. She wants to move forward tomorrow. She had a great start, and that'll be important going into race 2.
But I think overall good job. That's great to come through to second. Some good racing there, but yeah, on to tomorrow.
Yeah, very, very impressive. She has been on the podium in all 3 reverse grid races this season. Not the main races, but we shall see. She was the winner in China, but a good chance tomorrow of being on the podium as well. some more investigation is exactly what you were talking about there, Abby.
Yeah, out of turn 11, whenever they're going around the outside, you have to keep a close eye on that white line on the exit, 'cause it is easy to cross over it and take a little lasting advantage. As again, we see a similar thing, 3 abreast. Looks like maybe she kept all tyres on the tarmac that time round.
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
Well, very close, though.
It was close. That will need some other views, which the stewards will be able to get to see whether the line was fully crossed. But well done to Dorian Pan. 5-second penalty for block.
P3, mate. P3. Good job. That's another podium.
Podium! Yeah, good race.
Yeah, well done.
Chloe Chambers was on the podium in race 1 in Miami last season as well. So yeah, she's done a great job. She will be starting from pole position tomorrow. She's still looking for her first win. She did lead across the line at the last race, but had a penalty, so that handed the victory over to Maya Berg. But nonetheless, she is very much a part of the championship battle that's going on up front. But Dorian Pan has taken the 10 points for the victory in the reserve race here, and she has done that extremely well. The French racer, she has very much in her second full year of F1 Academy now, and a great contender, backed by Mercedes, and the 21-year-old, I think, is very pleased with the way that this has gone so far. And congratulations to Dorian Pan for taking the win here today. Lovely.
No, amazing result there, going to see our team celebrating. It's a really great feeling standing on top of that car here at Miami. What a venue to do it at. Incredible result for them, as she there embraces all and everyone, and yeah, celebrates.
Yeah, that's really good. And the team very happy, of course, to see that having done for the Prema team. This is very good news indeed for them. They were third in the points. It's Campos that have been leading coming into this. Campos are still leading. They're on 106 points. But Maya Berg is still the championship leader by 1 point now from Dorian Pan, who is just 1 point behind, having taken that victory today. So that really keeps things very close. Chloe Chambers is 10 points further behind, but Alicia Palmowski is in 4th place in the championship. A fascinating competition all the way through. We're getting ready for the podium celebration, of course, for this first race of F1 Academy this weekend. Abby, you were on the podium on the top step both times last year. It is a lovely place, isn't it? It's a great venue, and there was some really good racing going on there. The opportunities to overtake here, they are, you know, the slipstream helps, but getting the cornering and getting the positioning absolutely crucial.
The straights are really long here in Miami, and it provides great opportunities for these girls to try and move past each other. And yeah, here in Miami, actually, the podium is across the track, so you've got to get a buggy. I'm sure we'll see them very soon, jumping in the cars, getting ferried along to celebrate on the podium and spray some champagne.
Absolutely right. So we will see them come up in just a few moments' time. As I mentioned, Maya Berg just still with that championship lead, but it is down to just 1 point now over Dorian Pan, who got that excellent victory here today. And we'll have to see how it all develops tomorrow when they get F1 style points. Of course, it'll be 25 points for a win tomorrow, as opposed to 10 points for the win today on the reverse grid. So the points in the second race certainly can make a big difference then to the outcome of the championship at this stage. Dorian Pan then, the winner of this race, with Alicia Palmowski finishing in an excellent 2nd place, and Chloe Chambers in 3rd position, and she'll be starting from pole tomorrow. Maya Berg in the Ferrari back car, moving up from 10th on the grid, finished 4th. Nina Gademan was 5th, ahead of Aurelia Nobels, who battled hard. 7th place to Tina Hausmann. The final point actually ended up going to Rafaela Ferreira. Courtney Crone finished in 9th place, and Leah Bloch with penalty getting pushed down to 10th place. That is why Ferreira in the end ended up in the points. 11th place for Alba Larsen, ahead of Nicole Havreda. Ava Dobson, the wildcard entry, finishing in 13th place ahead of Eva Anagnostiadis. Emma Felbermeyer in 15th place after battling so well early on and a few non-finishes. So there we are, that's how the result has gone. But for Dorian Pain, that really was an excellent race. That was a good control as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, really well controlled from the front, picking up the pieces, and yeah, textbook, really great defending, and also getting back past Emma Felbermeyer when she sent that last-minute dive into turn 1. Yeah, definitely, and the way that she had to work, but kept it clean and no contact made. That was good news as well. Yes, we did have safety cars in this race, and we've had them in quite a few, but not very many really silly incidents in this. Yes, there was that three-way battle that went a bit wrong, but that's just racing. I think quite often that's the case. If you're going to have 3 cars alongside each other, it often ends with a bit of damage done. But it was a little bit disappointing for Ella Lloyd, of course, off the start of the grid in the McLaren backed car. And Abby, I know she will be disappointed, but she could still be a front runner tomorrow. Yeah, you've got to keep your head up high in these situations.